digital space here at Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. It's always so good to be with you all. I don't know about you, but I need some extra energy this morning, so let's just jump right into it, as they say. Here come on, flat top, keep coming, moving up slowly, keep coming. Juju, I'm all he want. Holy roller, he got hair down to his knees. Got to be a joker, you just do what he please. Well. He wear no shoe shine, he got toes in for the boy, he got monkey finger, he shoot Coca-Cola, he say, I know you know me. One thing I could tell you is you got to be free. Come together, yeah, right now, over me. He roller coaster, he got early morning, he got muddy water, he want mojo filter, he say 1 and 1 is 3, and he got to be good looking, cause he's so hard to see. Come together, y'all, right now, over me, yeah. Come together, come together, come together, oh, come together. I say, come together, y'all, right now, over me.
What a great lick at the end. I love it.
Hey,
Good morning, Donald James Harper.
good morning, great to see you.
Great to see you as well, and welcome into the virtual space for the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. It's been a while since we've been together, and it's such a pleasure and a joy to have you back with us.
I fully agree.
And I know you've got some fantastic music planned for us this morning, and it's so great to be in your energetic presence, even though I know you need a little bit of boost of energy right now, as do I. And we're going to come together and share that with each other. And what a great way to kick off our morning than, what other than a great way than a Beatles song,
I
right?
love it. I love it.
So fabulous. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being up and awake and alert and alive and ready for a good time together.
Of course. Looking forward to it.
Very much so. Cool. We'll see you in just a bit.
That's good.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, the spiritual leader here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Los Angeles. And we indeed do come together on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Online. And when we get to do it in person, we do it at 10:30 a.m. for the purpose to remember who we are as divine beings having a human experience while being human beings having a divine experience. You'll get to hear more about what that means through this philosophy, faith, and way of life known as the Science of Mind as we come together for our Sunday celebration service. And so I welcome you into our virtual home and to know that you're happy to be here today in a way that creates a space for one and all to support their own spiritual awakening in life. And we do that through tuning into the spiritual truths of life as presented, not just here, but in many other places in the world, with the very essence and the core of that being that you are the divine fully expressed just as you are. Perfection, wholeness, and completeness is your way of being. And so without further ado, let's begin our virtual service and the slides that go with that. As a community, we have come together now for quite some time and love to come together, and when we can do it both in person and online, honor each other. This honoring process is done through the act of namaste. Namaste is a Sanskrit word that literally means I bow to thee. In the concept of the bowing, it's oftentimes misperceived that we're bowing to each other. Not that that is a bad thing, but what we're bowing to and acknowledging and honoring is the power of life that exists within each and every one of us. And so I invite us to take a deep breath in, if you feel so compelled, and exhale, placing your hands together in prayer position, looking forward, bending forward, honoring the light, the life, the power, the essence in each other as we say together, Namaste. Bringing the prayerful hands back up to our lips to bless them to our third eye chakra, where intuition and wisdom holds, back to our lips and releasing it, letting this good energy move out into the world. As I said, we're a community that has come together for many years, and we pride ourselves in welcoming all races, all religions, all countries of origins, all sexual orientations, all genders, all abilities, for we not only stand with you, but we honor the individualized expression of the divine that is you, that is me, and we stand with you shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, consciousness to consciousness, knowing that you're perfect, whole, and complete, as I said before, just as you are. And we declare that we welcome one and we welcome all. In this state of welcoming, it's wonderful for us to remind ourselves, as well as those of you who may be new today, of what it is that we teach here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. We teach primarily the philosophy and faith and way of life known as the science of mind. That, along with other new thought teachings, whose core is that there's only one power in the universe. You are that power. I am that power. That power is infinite by nature. It is that which has created all of life and is indeed life itself. That we, as individualized expressions of this power and sentient beings, we experience the power as well as express the power through our thoughts and our actions and our reactions and our interactions with the very thing itself. Life. And because we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual law, these very actions of thoughts and beliefs and reactions and interactions, the way that we show up in life, lends itself to the development, the evolution of our consciousness. And it's our consciousness that the law of life responds to and then brings back to us or through us experiences in life that are reflective of our state of being. Which brings us down to that very core element in life, and certainly in this teaching, that should one desire to change their life, the way to do that is to change your thinking. Our vision statement for our community is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. And so today it's my invitation to you to open up to this spiritual awakening. A spiritual awakening that may show up in a variety of different ways. Can show up certainly through hearing something for the first time, or hearing it renewed, hearing it anew, or a feeling that may come over you of an alignment to spiritual truth as it's spoken. And so in this moment of relaxing and listening and opening up, I invite you as well to raise your vibrational frequency, your antenna, if you will, to tune into that which serves you, an expression of the divine. We open our service every morning with a morning ritual called Calling in the Light. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths and all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence. It's that which we call spirit. The purpose of the ritual is to draw into our gathering this morning a more conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that we possess as complete expressions of the divine. As we feel the vibrations shift during this experience, may we become ever more aware of the light of life that exists in and as all expressions of life, which includes you, and it includes me. And so as we light this virtual candle, I invite us all to open up to the quality of the divine that we shall use in our ritual this morning, which is peace. The acronym for peace is Purposeful Energy Activates Conscious Evolution. Conscious evolution is that opening up and moving with both intention and attention to a higher framework of mind, that which reflects our divinity, to which peace is one of the qualities that we're imbued with as these divine beings. And so I invite us all to declare this morning that we shall indeed use our energy of life purposefully, and in so doing bring forth a higher consciousness, which lends itself to conscious evolution, and then release it out into the universe, knowing that the law of life responds to that in like. We do that by choosing to be the change that we desire to be in life. I invite us to hear this Buddhist prayer for peace this morning, so that it may be a cog in the wheel of the evolutionary process for us individually and collectively. That which is written states, may all beings everywhere plagued with sufferings of body and mind quickly be freed from their illnesses. May those frightened cease to be afraid, and may those bound be free. May the powerless find power, and may people think of befriending one another. May those who find themselves in trackless, fearful wilderness, the children, the aged, the unprotected, be guarded by beneficial celestials, and may they swiftly attain Buddhahood. In our philosophy, faith, and way of life, these beneficial celestials is the energy, the life of consciousness that is all around us. Buddhahood is the spiritual awakening of conscious evolution that we spoke over. And so as we anchor in this prayer for peace, James will come on and take us through our song of calling in the light. The lyrics of this call and response song will come on the screen, and I invite you to sing along.
Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. Repeat after me. I am love, I am peace in my heart, I am free, I am spirit, I am soul, all together we are whole, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light of
and so it is. Thank you. I just love the version that you just played of Calling in the Light with the simple melodic keys, strokes on the guitar, and your
It's
very
it's easy
calming voice.
when the lyrics are so good,
Right?
so meaningful.
Very meaningful. Literally could be a mantra for all of us in life, right?
I often think about that
Right.
song throughout the week.
Walking through life, just calling in the light, just calling in the light, just calling in the light, like bringing in the energy. Today, I really want us to look at energy and not solely from the perspective of, oh, I need more of it, but how are we using what we have, right? How are we channeling the energy of the divine? How are we living in God's healing truth, the light? How are we using our energy purposefully to activate conscious evolution, right?
I love that you said that because the song I'm about to play is pretty much about exactly that. That's amazing.
It's a new rendition of a song that we are all familiar with. I can't wait for our community to hear it.
Yeah, yeah. I've been on an absolute Tears for Fears kick going through their anthology, and I heard Shout, and I wasn't totally sure what they were about, what it was about. So I looked up an interpretation, and I thought this was very interesting. Um, Tears for Fears wrote the song to inspire protest, and to some degree, they even encouraged the audience to do so on a literal collective level, as in directly confronting authoritative institutions in their lives, both on a personal and collective level. Tears for Fears are also known to have subscribed to the teachings of a psychologist named Arthur Janov, who had a procedure called primal therapy treatment. Interesting, right? A method by which patients would directly confront childhood trauma through actions, which included screaming as in shouting. So when they encourage the listener to let it all out, it's apparently based on the idea that doing so will prove therapeutic to them.
I've done some of that therapy. It's
Really?
very 80s, early 90s thing, yes. Uh-huh.
Super interesting. Well, I
Well, what it does is that when you shout, right, it's an immediate shift in energy, right?
right.
So it can stir stuff up. Not to mention that if you do it long enough, there can be memories of violence and stuff. But it is a tool for engaging in energetic transformation.
Yes. Yeah, and redirecting that energy. I thought it was just so powerful because we can't control where we came from, right? We can't control what happened to us when we were growing up, but we can control how we respond and how we direct that energy in our
Absolutely.
life.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, share your version of it because it's beautiful.
Hope you enjoy. Shout, shout, let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on. In violent times, you shouldn't have to sell your soul. In black and white, they really, really ought to know. Those one-track minds, they took you for a working boy. Kiss them goodbye. You shouldn't have to jump for joy. You shouldn't have to jump for joy. You let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on. They gave you life, and in return you gave them hell. As cold as ice, I hope we live to tell the tale. I hope we live to tell the tale. These are the things we could do without. Come on, I said I'm talking to you. Come on, Come, shout, letting it all out. These are the things I can't do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on, come on.
So fabulous.
Thank
The the concept often in that, what I've always listened to the lyrics of that song was be, I'm talking to you, the person I'm shouting at,
Right,
and yet from a metaphysical perspective, it's talking to the self,
right. That's exactly
talking
how
to
I
you, the person I'm
interpret it.
seeing in the mirror.
Yeah,
Shout, I'm getting it out, right? So letting go of that which is blocking our conscious evolution.
right.
Right. So fabulous, fabulous. Thank you
Oh,
for not only sharing your personal connection to it with us, but your gift of the interpretation of that song.
thank you. Always, always a pleasure.
Yeah. So wonderful. Thank you. I know you've got one more great song for us at the end.
Yes,
Excuse me, at
sir.
the end as well. So good. See you later.
See you soon.
And so as we continue on our theme of free to be me, I decided I wanted us to revisit a presentation that we've had before, to anchor in the understanding of the role that both we play and life plays and energy plays in regards to living out our freedom and looking at life from a new perspective of reinforcing, just as James was singing about, of bringing forth, shouting out the darkness, if you will, in life, and opening up to a bit more of the pureness of the energy that exists within us. We want to begin to look today in the through the lens of the multidimensionality of the oneness of life. Obviously, we're all individualized expressions of the thing itself, so what we see is different. It appears that it's through these differences that there is then separation. But what we are being trained and taught and encouraged to fine tune our consciousness through our perception of, in this philosophy, faith, and way of life, is to bring everything back to the oneness of life that there is. In this teaching, we are taught there is only one thing: God. God is all there is. And to remember that the word that we use, God, and the power that we speak of is an impersonal, infinite power. It's not an archaic idea of an individual that has dominion over us. It's an energy field, a creative force that gives us life, and the only dominion that exists would be that which we would do our best to foster over our thinking, our acting, our reacting, and our interacting with the very thing itself, life. Well, how do we do that? Well, that's what we're going to look at today, some tools to help us fine tune this so that we can walk away today with one or more nuggets of a way to begin to see this multidimensional aspect of life, of oneness, in a new way. The definition for multidimensional is of involving several dimensions or aspects. And it's important for us to know that through the oneness of life, certainly in the external, we see several dimensions, but it's also important for us to understand in the evolution of our own individualized consciousness, there are certainly dimensions to that evolution, and dimensions as to how we use it, and dimensions as to how we can choose to use our mind to experience it, while remembering what Einstein tells us in regards to being conscious participants in co-creating the life that we desire, that everything is energy. So all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. In other words, experience that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, he tells us, it's physics. It's physics. Now remember, this teaching is called metaphysics. It's beyond the physics, but understanding that we must participate in the physics of the creative process of life. So today, let's put this into action in a new way. Frequency first can be our mantra for the day. And to begin to open up and find some ways to understand and apply this understanding to the sources, the source really of energy within us, and how we can align those and use them in a new way. Once again, everything is energy, and your thoughts begin this energy. Our emotions amplifies the energy, and our action increases its momentum. Just today, what have you transformed in your life regarding energy? James was saying he needed more energy today. I said that we both had late nights last night and moments of my bottom dropping out before we were to come on to the service, and yet I knew, talking about energy, to begin to change my thinking around it, to feel my energy, to get up and move around, to connect to the energy in my mind and my body, and to activate the energy in my soul, my action, which then increased the feelings, the momentum of the movement of energy in life, while understanding and remembering that we're not capturing or lassoing or creating new energy. We're using that which is already within us. It's there and infinite by nature. Oneness. The law of divine oneness is what we're speaking of today. The law of divine oneness is the foundational law, according to which absolutely everything in our universe is interconnected. In other words, every choice, word, desire, and belief you have will also have an impact on the world, the universe, really, and the people in your life. Now, sometimes this impact will be immediate and obvious. We've all had those experiences. At other times, it may take a while to manifest, or you may never even discover that it has occurred. I'll just let that sink in for a second. It goes on to tell us here to try to think of yourself as part of everything around you, to live in accordance with this law of divine oneness, and to remember that we're all one. And our awareness of this makes us more powerful as well as more empathetic. And I would go on to say, not only our awareness of it, but our awareness of it, and then how we use it, has the ability and the capacity to invoke great change. As James was singing the song and he went into the falsetto and brought into my mind's eye this visual of this rainbow tunnel, which is emblematic of how we can choose to believe a vortex of energy going out into the infinite nature of universe, this resource of energy that is there for us as well as we are it. It's been determined, as I've said before, that our cellular DNA holds the same cosmic dust as the cosmos that we not only see in this picture, but also that we're seeing through this new Webb telescope that's tracing back the Big Bang, and remembering and realizing even that which we see, which we can identify with, no longer exists in that form. It has been transformed because of time. Light years have happened. And yet it's still there. And so today, let's open our mind to begin to feel ourselves opening up and moving into this vortex of energy for co-creation and transformation, and doing that through a greater acceptance of our unified connection, of our innate oneness. In regards to this, it states here that it's when we can bridge the chasm created by our individuality and differences appearing as an actual separation in life, that we will see and treat all people as ourselves and operate in a functional unity. Big idea, ladies and gentlemen, and yet that's exactly what we're called not just to do, but to be. to be more and more and more to the best of our ability. It tells us here that you were and are part of all of humanity, the whole of life, connected with everything, and before you learn to perceive any separation from it, that we operate through perception. Thus, our functional perspective represents how connected or separate we perceive ourselves as the concept of who we are. I'm going to read that again as it's written because it's once again a big idea, but important for us to take it in. You were and are part of all of humanity, meaning each and every one of us, the whole of life, connected with everything. Before you learn to perceive any separation from it, you operate through perception. Thus, your functional perspective, how you show up every day, represents how connected or separate you perceive as your concept of self. I'm going to break that down for you, baby brother. What it's telling us is that we operate through our perception, through our beliefs, through how we see life and know life to be, how we show up every day with that ideology. It represents how we know ourselves to be connected to life itself, and that is then our concept of ourself. That is our ideology of who we know ourselves to be. Thus, should we desire to have a different experience of life and the oneness of life, then it's important for us to then change our concept of ourself, thus changing our perception of oneness itself. Let's all take a deep breath. Well, what does that mean? It means that we have to continually ask ourselves, how do we see life? Not just conceptually, not just our perception of it, but how we're showing up in it, how we're using our energy, how we're participating in the transformation of life, how we're consciously shouting out and letting go of that which is incongruent to our innate nature, whose qualities are peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom, while understanding that within this oneness, there's a hell of a lot of multidimensionality. Whew, that's a lot to take in, and yet we have not only the capacity and the ability, but we know based on experience in our own lives, it's through this fine-tuning of our thinking and our actions and our being in life that we get to experience life differently. And then the experience of life is different. But we don't live life based on experience as awakened metaphysicians. We live life based on participating in the causation of those experiences. And we do that by tending to our mind, our soul, our being, by constantly and consistently choosing to focus on and creating a new perspective. One of the tools that I think is important for us to do this through its most simple format is by looking at energy wheels called chakras. One would argue, are chakras real? Do they actually exist or not? And in all reality, it doesn't matter whether they do or do not. And many old school metaphysicians are twirling in their grave or their mausoleum or wherever they may be right now speaking of chakras. But I speak of them often. And the reason I think it's important for us to use them as a vehicle, as a tool, is that it's things that we can identify with as places in our bodies where energy is stored, and that there are certain elements and aspects of life that are identified with these energy wheels. And so should we desire to attend to those parts of our life that we would like to have different, we can at least focus on that particular energy wheel to open it up and get it moving. It's all simply for educational purposes and giving ourselves tools and techniques so that we may consciously participate in changing our thinking and our perception of ourselves. Well, then what the hell is a chakra, you may ask yourself. Chakra, or chakra in Sanskrit, means wheel and refers to energy points in our body. They're thought to be spinning discs of energy that should stay opened and aligned as they correspond to bundles of nerves, major organs, and areas of our energetic body that affect our emotional and physical well-being. If you look at this activated diagram on the screen, it shows the energy wheels, these 7 chakras, moving in alignment, thus moving energy. And if we were to just take our hands and move them in the same direction, and I invite you to do that as these wheels, and to the same rhythm and beat of life, while doing that, you will feel energy changing in your being and your body and around you. Individual chakras throughout the body are focal points that blend the physical body with the spiritual mind. Your chakras work in tandem with your life force energy. This energy flow is called many things in many traditions around the world, including Ka, Ki, Prana, Mana, and Holy Spirit. Remember, Spirit, Holy Spirit, is what we call this one great universal presence that we spoke of in our calling in the light ritual. It's all the same, just by different names. Well, what's held in a chakra? Chakras, these energy wheels in our being, store the energy of our thoughts, feelings, memories, experiences, and actions. They influence and direct our present and future mindset, behavior, emotional health, and actions. The life force in each chakra can be processed, transmuted, and released so that we consciously manifest what we want to call in rather than experience more of the same. In this context, if we take it back just simply to changing our perception of ourself, this will be a tool that we can use to do that. Chakra healing is the intentional practice of connecting with our stored energy. Important key here, stored energy. Remember, I said we don't create it, it's already there. So we may understand how our past is influencing the present and the future. Prana, part of this life force, informs us and influences our actions and behaviors, determining our health, career opportunities, relationships, and more. The subtle body depicts how our inner reality creates our outer reality. Would anyone like your life to be different in regards to your health, career opportunities, relationships, more? How about let's open ourselves up today to doing our best to fine-tune one or more of our chakras. You can see them on the screen here. This is in the visual of what they look like, these places of stored energy in our body that hold the energy of prana, of life, of Holy Spirit. Imagine in your own body that these are all alive and well and vibrant, not only in alignment with each other, but releasing energy out into the universe, being productive within the being and the body, and anchoring ourselves through our root chakra into both Mother Earth, letting that be representative of us anchoring ourselves into life itself. Let's look at the 7 chakras, starting with the root chakra. The root chakra, the first chakra called Muladhara, is located at the base of the spine. Muladhara means root and is associated with the earth element, linked to your ability to dig in and feel firmly rooted in your life. Its associate color is red, hence it links to the earth. This wheel of energy is associated with your sense of security, familial relationships, and your feeling of home. When energy is flowing through the first chakra, the Muladhara, you feel firmly grounded in yourself and the world around you. Should you not feel grounded in your world today or yesterday or tomorrow, think about working on your root chakra. And by the way, on our YouTube channel, we have several meditations that are chakra meditations. And if you need help finding those, either myself or Robert can make sure we get them out to you. Moving to the second chakra, the sacral chakra, the symbol of this sacral chakra is orange. With 6 petals surrounding the center, the circles in connection with the lotus flower petals represent the cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. This wheel of energy is associated with your sense of security, familial relationships, and your feeling of home. This chakra is associated with sensuality and creativity. The primary function of this energy center is pleasure and overall enjoyment of life. When this chakra is balanced and functioning properly, we can expect our relationship with ourselves and the world to feel harmonious, pleasureful, and nurturing. It's located around the navel. Anyone want more sensuality, sexuality, harmony, pleasure, nurturing in your life? Maybe it's time to tend to this orange wheel of energy. Pulling up through our torso, we now move to the solar plexus chakra, yellow in color and located between the navel and the heart. The solar plexus chakra, or Manipura in Sanskrit, translates to city of jewels. Located in the upper belly at the diaphragm, it acts as the center of personal power. The chakra governs personality, ego, and identity, as well as personal freedom, choice, and authenticity. Imagine tuning into this energy field, this solar plexus chakra, this wheel as it moves and moves, having it be used as a tool to enhance our personality, to balance our ego, and keep in check our identity, as well as our ability to have personal freedom and to use that through our choice and authenticity in a way to exercise the freedom to be me, the individualized expression of the only thing there is. Bringing us up into the heart chakra, located exactly where one would think a heart chakra would be. It's green in color. It's called the Anahata, located at the heart. And it's the fourth primary chakra and serves as our center of love for oneself and others, compassion, empathy, and forgiveness. The Anahata, or heart chakra, is associated with unconditional love, compassion, and joy. Should one desire to experience or express, to give so that they may receive more unconditional love, compassion, and joy, this is the wheel to tend to. Pulling our awareness up now to the next chakra, located in the throat, hence its name, the throat chakra. The fifth chakra, Vishuddha chakra, is located at the base of the throat, at the center of the larynx. This is the reason this chakra is called the throat chakra. The energy element governed by this chakra is effective communication. Effective communication. The Sanskrit word Vishuddha means purifying the body from harmful substances. Let's take a moment and understand that what we're being told is that through a healthy way of life, of effective communication, we shall purify our being from harmful substances. In other words, speaking truth with compassion, with regard, with esteem, with love, which then brings us up into the third eye chakra, which is how we access that compassion, that regard, that esteem through our intuition. The third eye chakra, or Anja chakra in Sanskrit, is known as the seat of intuition. Translations of the Sanskrit name include perceive, beyond wisdom, and command. Shout, shout, shout it out. Located in the center of the forehead, it acts as the individual's center of wisdom, conscious, and higher consciousness. If you recall in our Sanskrit Namaste Good Morning in the mornings, I have us open with our heart chakra, with our hands, prayer position, move to our lips, representing the communication of our third eye chakra, raising it to our intuition, third eye chakra, not the other was the throat, the third eye chakra, so that we can open up our consciousness, our wisdom, our higher consciousness, bringing it back to our ability to communicate and then releasing it out into the ethers of creation so that it may then return back to us in that form or greater. Finishing up the chakras, we move to the crown chakra, the Sahasrara chakra. And this crown chakra, or Sahasrara chakra in Sanskrit, is known as the bridge to the cosmos. It's the most spiritual in nature of all 7 chakras. Located above the crown of the head, it acts as the individual center of spirit, enlightenment, wisdom, universal consciousness, and connection to higher guidance. It is literally the crown that allows us to pull the energy from our root all the way up from our sacral chakra and our solar plexus chakra and our heart chakra and our throat chakra and our third eye chakra, aligning it there or bringing it down from the universe to align those, to bring it back into their root. This is the chakra, the outlet, if you will, for our energy to return to the source of creation. Today, I invite us all to open up to seeing these energy wheels within our being and body through the new lens of everything is energy. And that's all there is to it. Today is the day that you and I can create a change by aligning our sense of being, our consciousness, in a new way, by tuning into the energy of life itself and using our ability to think, to receive, to perceive, to transform energy itself so that it may align with the life that we desire to experience. And remember, we only get to have that experience based on what we're expressing. And so our question today is, who and what are we attracting in our life? And is that what we want? And ask ourselves, who and what are we repelling in our life? Today we have before us the opportunity to make a change, to choose to engage in having our energy wheels aligned, active, and balanced, and in so doing, making a huge difference in our life. And so today we get to ask ourselves, not only in the past have we been using our energy wisely, but from this moment forward, knowing that what we are doing is just like Wile E. Coyote, moving through life with a big ass magnet attached to us, being drawn to an experience in life that is reflective of our being, while at the same time drawing into our life that which is reflective of our state of consciousness. So today we get to begin anew by remembering that every thought, every action, every decision or feeling creates an eddy in the interlocking, interbalancing energy fields of life itself. In this interconnected universe, every improvement that we make in our private world, tending to our chakras, improves the world at large for everyone. So should the task of making the world a better place for everyone be overpowering, or just simply one you don't want to take on this date or any day forward, let it go and turn inward and ask yourself, where in my life am I ready for there to be a shift, a change? Is it in my sensuality, my sexuality? Is it my feelings of being rooted to life itself? Is it in my harmonious nature to life itself? Is it through love and unconditional love that is being poured from and received in my heart? Is it that today is the day that I command to myself to declare and covenant, to effectively communicate in a greater way with not only myself, the self, but all before me? Or is it to simply let go and to trust our intuitive wisdom that's always there, ready to guide us in every step in life itself? Or is it to just open up to the cosmos and surrender ourselves to the guidance of the divine? My invitation for each of us is to not only fine-tune one or more of our chakras, but open to tuning them all in a new way every single day. And so we get to align ourselves on this path of co-creation, just as the great Barbara Marx Hubbard instructs us to do. She says, so the path of the co-creator, those that have chosen to step into conscious evolution, is to be awakened spiritually within, which then turns into your own deeper life purpose, which then makes you want to reach out and touch others in a way that expresses yourself, this newfound definition that we have of ourself, and then really evolves our communities and our world. And notice she did not say involves, she says really evolves our communities and our world. Certainly we can't do that unless we activate ourselves first. That's why for me, Barbara writes, emergence is the shift from ego to essence. Essence, that power of the divine that is indwelling within us, whose qualities are peace and power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. And so it brings us back to where we began, to know that it's so important to let our divinity guide us in life, and to remember that today can be the day that we not only choose to believe in oneness in a greater way, but to commit to living from oneness in a new way. It tells us on the screen that the belief in oneness changes nothing in life, but living in oneness changes everything. Let's you and I let it happen today. Today. Right now. And so it is. Thank you so very, very much. James is going to come back on and sing another beautiful song for us.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Even while you sleep, we will find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. It's my own design. It's my own remorse. Help me to decide. Help me make the most of freedom and of pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands while the walls come tumbling down. When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad it almost made it. So sad they had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the. Can't stand this indecision. Buried with the lack of vision. Everybody wants to rule the world. Come on. Say that you'll never, never, never need it. One headline while being needed. Everybody wants to rule the for freedom and for pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to rule the world.
James, I've just loved these renditions of these songs that you've done today.
Thank you. It's been a
So very,
pleasure.
very much. I know
Very
everyone else has as well. I was up dancing around to
well. I
that.
love it. Talk about energy.
Exactly. I can feel it. It's getting hot in here too. The lights are all. I don't
Same.
want to turn a fan on because it would create ambient noise in the background that we don't want to hear. We want to hear you, not the noise. So, just fantastic. Thank you once again for your creativity and just love having you back. I know you've been on the road and you've been working a lot. And you said the bar mitzvah wedding scene is back fully alive, and
Mhm.
not that those are the same ceremony, but yes.
That would be an interesting ceremony indeed.
That would be an interesting ceremony, wouldn't it? So I'm sure it exists somewhere in the world. But, so good to have you back, and I know we've got you on the calendar in August.
Yes, I'm
Yes,
looking
so
forward to
we'll
it.
get
Thank
you
you for
back.
having me always.
Yeah, more and more. So fabulous. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank you.
you.
So now is the time in our service that we have an opportunity to support our community financially, and so I'm going to put on the screen the way to do that. And know that all of your support is deeply appreciated and put to great use. And thank you for that. So the way to do that is you can go to our website, csl-la.org, and click on donate, or you can use our app. It's in the App Store, Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, and click on the upper left bars, and the screen will come up, and you can see the donate tab, or you can mail to our office. Our address, 1200 North La Brea Avenue, West Hollywood, California, 90038. And or you can call me privately. My number's on the screen, and I can handle that for you should you desire to do that. We've been in the office working. We're going to be using the office again a lot more. I'm doing some counseling sessions out of there now, and so just we're doing our best to return back to the normalcy of a past while doing our best to co-create that which is new for us going forward. So, without further ado, James will come on the screen and take us through our conscious giving song called Love is My Decision. I invite you to sing along while we each take a moment and reach out to support our community. Thank you.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. Once I decide to change my mind, the source will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision, right here, right now.
And so I affirm for each and every one of us that we are consciously participating in the evolution of who and what we are as complete expressions of the divine. We are abundant with the nature of the universe, unlimited with our good just as it is. And so we choose to give with an open hand, an open heart, an open mind, letting that be an act that is reflective of our willingness and our commitment and our intention to spin the wheel of goodness in our life. And so today we align ourselves with our spiritual nature in a new way, and we all benefit from that. And we step into a realm of gratitude for consciously being able to participate in for all that do, knowing that good begets good. And we say together, and so it is. A huge thank you to each and every one of you for being here today, whether you're joining us through Zoom and or Facebook or on a later date through our YouTube channel or a later time of watching. So I want you to know that just who and what you are as a being of light is making a difference on this plate, on this planet. And please make a choice today to be more kind, more gentle, more loving with yourself as you move along your journey of finding your personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Life gets better and better, one thought, one action, one reaction, and one interaction at a time. And should there be actions, reactions, interactions with life that there may be doubt or misgivings or fear or second guessing or shame around, give yourself the gift of a deep breath in And with the exhalation, forgive yourself and release, opening yourself up to the guidance and the wisdom of the third eye to help guide us into that next decision, letting it be one to reflect our divinity. That's how we make a difference on this path for ourselves and others. I want a big thank you to be expressed to our musical guest, part of our family today, James Harper. Donald James Harper, it's so good to have you back in the house, homie, and bringing your talent and your gift and your creativity with us. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. Also, a big shout out and a thank you to our audio technician, Travis Smith, who's always in the background doing such great work to make sure that we present the best to you on all levels. Thank you to Robert Hensley, our administrative assistant, as well as our social media guru and Facebook genius monitoring that for us today. And so thank you to both of you for your presence and for your wisdom and for your commitment to helping CSL-LA be a presence for good in the community. And the same for each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. And so know that we will be back in person on August 14th, back at the building at 1200 North La Brea Avenue. It would be so fantastic if we could really fill that room or put 50 people in it. Please invite your friends. Please extend an invitation to share the good in your universe with others. And let's do our part to feel the energy of goodness that makes us a community, and then feel the obligation, if you will, to share the things in our life that's helped us transform our life so that life gets better and better and better. Remembering that as each and every one of our lives get better, it moves out into our communities and evolves them. So, some things to be attentive to. So, each week we have an e-newsletter that goes out. Feel free to get that. You can sign up for that if you aren't receiving it and would like through our newsletter and or our website. Through our app in the App Store or our website. Website is csl-la.org. You can get all the information you need there. Wednesday mornings, we do a midweek morning meditation at 8:30 a.m. And that's a guided meditation. There have been guided meditations on chakra healing and balancing there. We'll also pull one of those out and send it out in the newsletter this week, so you all have access to that. And join us on Wednesday morning. And a text goes out every day called A New Thought for the Day. They are really fun and innovative way to ground ourselves in the day. And I think that's what I have to share and say today. So thank you all for being here. We're going to close with a meditation and affirmative prayer. And I invite you to stay on and hear that and let it soothe your soul as we move forward into the rest of the day and the week ahead. And then at that point, we'll say goodbye to those of you on Facebook, and we'll, if you're here on Zoom, we'll stay on and bid each other a hello. So without any further ado, let's bring us some music on. Feel the energy of the day, how it's transformed. Letting it be an example for us that we have within us the ability to change and transform. So if you feel so comfortable, close your eyes, knowing that our ability to imagine is one of the greatest gifts we've been given in life. And to bring back into our mind's eye the visual of the spinning wheel of all the energies of each chakra moving. And as we not only see that spinning wheel that goes round and round and round, but we begin to feel it doing so within us. And we use this visual and this connection energetically to it. And we let it be anchored into our awareness and our being. as a reminder that we have it at instant access anytime throughout the week that we feel ourselves off kilter or out of alignment. To just simply stop wherever we are in life, literally and metaphorically, and tune in to the wheels spinning. And then begin to feel that energy, that wheel of transformation that is, in this scenario, representing all the chakras. Also giving ourselves permission to isolate to just one. But through the spinning of the wheel, let it be emblematic of our opportunity in life to change the flow and the force of energy in life, while remembering that everything is energy. We are one with it. We are interconnected. We participate in this interlocking eddy of cause and effect in life. So we walk away from this today energized by accepting that this isn't philosophy, it's physics. And so we work on changing the physics in our world by tending to that which gives cause to it in the metaphysical world. The power of the divine, that is the oneness of life. Baby, oh baby, oh baby, this spinning wheel goes round and round and round, stirring up good trouble for us. And the world's a better place. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Another as we inhale, bringing our hands back in prayer position, ending as we began, raising them to our lips, committing to effective communication, to our third eye, allowing ourselves to be guided, back to our lips, releasing out to the universe, and saying together, Namaste, and so it is. May your world be a reflection of your intentions, and may your intentions be a reflection of your divinity.